how you feel your players are coming into the game and just how they feel. They're like excited, they're ready to go, they're focused. What do you sense from your team?
I think they think they're ready. I think you never really know as a coach until the game gets going up and down. Obviously, this is a unique environment. And so feeling that part of it out, I mean, I think once the ball goes up, it'll just become basketball. And I think if our players do what they do well and share the basketball and not try to do too much, then I think we can be competitive.
Rhea Felician, go ahead.
Hey, Coach. Outside of a win, what are some things that you want to see from your team that you would consider as a success?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we need the ball to go through the basket. You saw the teams that struggled yesterday. They struggled to, kind of make open shots. If you look at Indy or New York yesterday. So, but I think the main thing is are we competing at both ends? If we're getting good shots, if we're creating good shots, if we're making the right play, then I'm going to feel like it's a success, at both ends. If we follow a game plan, if we're engaged, if we're congesting, if we're making it hard on Arike to do what she does well, then I'll feel like it's a success. We want to win every game we play. That's always going to be the goal. But it's also the first game of the season. We're obviously severely undermanned right now. And so it's going to take a collective effort by our team as, Dallas is at full, full go with their entire roster here.
And then how are you feeling ahead of the start of your third season?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, ask me every about 8 hours as I wait on COVID results. I think that I love coaching this team. I think it's a team that really cares about each other. I think they want to be here. I think they want to show that they can compete. I was doing some stats on our starting lineup today, and I think the average. I think our starting lineup averaged 27 points a game total in the WNBA last year. So it's kind of a situation where we're going to see who steps up. Does Mo Billings, kind of elevate her game with increased responsibility? Can Benijah Laney do what she's done through the scrimmages and really be an aggressive scorer and, not a 5 or 6 point a game scorer, and how does Kennedy Carter handle the spotlight? So, a lot of things come into play here for us. I think Arike might have averaged more points last year than our starting lineup combined in the WNBA. So, we've got to have a lot of players, kind of do what they do best and do it collectively well and compete at a high level for us to be competitive. But I like how hard they've worked. I like that they've bought into pace being important for us. We've got to keep pace at 94 feet, and we've got to keep the pace from width to width. So, when we're moving, when we're cutting in the half court, we've got to have just as much pace as we do in the full court when we're going side to side.
Thank you.
Danny Thompson, go ahead.
Danny Thompson, 3-point conversion. Coach, you kind of answered my question a bit, but what's the starting five for today?
Yeah, we'll open with Kennedy at the point, and on the wings, Benijah and Strickland. We'll go with Mo Billings and Elizabeth Williams in the post, and Blake Dietrich will be our first guard off the bench. And if we bring her off for a post, then we'll just move Strickland down to the 4. So, that's kind of the first 6, and then we'll sub accordingly who needs it and when. But a lot of players are going to get a lot of minutes.
Edwin Powell, go ahead.
Hey, Coach. You mentioned about the players and the minutes. Do you have, in knowing that you have another game this week, is there a minutes do you have an idea of the minutes you'd like your players to play, or is it just you're just trying to win the ball game?
Yeah, it's a little of both, I think some of that is feel for the game. I think you sub early, and then you see how the game goes along and how your players are acclimating to it. I mean, at this point, we don't play until Wednesday again, so we don't have one-day prep in this situation. So it allows us to go a little over 30 probably, So we'll see. Some of it is, we've got to see how mentally and physically fatigued they are. You know, we're not going to play good basketball. We're not going to keep great pace if I overplay players. And I think that's the one thing that we have to consistently do to compete.
Any last questions? Sandy, Sandy Thompson, go ahead.
Can you hear me, Coach?
No, I can. Yep.
Okay. I don't know what happened. Sorry about that. I know this is Kennedy's first game. How do you try to keep her in control? I know she's probably excited, something she's been dreaming about since day one. How do you keep her in control in a moment like this?
I think it's putting your arm around her a whole lot, you know, allowing the game to slow down. You know, hopefully if we're rebounding and we're playing in transition, it makes her decisions easier. I think it's going to come down to me controlling the game to some degree at the offensive end when we're not playing in transition. So, you know, keeping the pressure of, you know, her having to call a great game. I mean, I think she's just learning at this point, her teammates. And so, you know, the idea of going with a hot shooter and understanding what plays in our playbook are going to get players shots is still an evolution process for her. And she's certainly not there yet. And so, you know, kind of helping guide her, making sure we're in the right plays, you know, and getting her under control. And then just constantly staying in her ear. You know, she is going to be a special player. But everybody saw that it doesn't always go the way you plan. You know, I saw Sabrina getting extra shots up today because she went 0 for 8 from the arc in her first start. And so, you know, it doesn't happen overnight. There's no coronation in this league. You got to earn everything. And there's no doubt that they're going to be motivated to play against her. And so, you know, she's going to have to keep her emotions in check.
All right, any last questions? Okay, thank you, Coach.
Right, off my stool.